Good morning. It is May 20th, and this is your next 24. Again, this is guidance, suggestions to maybe journal about, consider how to best use the energy in the next 24 hours ahead. Thanks for stopping by. I'm a reader from Brooklyn, New York, and again, we are just focusing on a day at a time right now. I feel like that's as much as I can really try to guide on at this moment. So here we go. We're going to start kind of with the big picture, and it's hard to see, and I apologize. I really hope that changes this weekend. I know I keep saying that, but in any event, there are a lot of reversals here today. A lot, including the Ten of Swords. So on a day like today, again, it's one of these things is not like the other type approach. And when there are this many reversals, I'm immediately drawn to, okay, what is upright? We have the Lovers. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the Nine of Cups. So to me, this is immediately saying, so if we kind of ignore the structure of individual lines and we just look at those cards which are upright, the Lovers, again, usually a choice about love, originally called The Choice. This depiction of the Lovers in the romantic, Victorian Romantic Tarot, who's this by? By Alex Yerkolov and Karen Mahoney, is a really kind of, I think, accurate depiction of this idea of a choice about love very specifically. This is a couple, clearly, but she's somewhere else in her thoughts. She's maybe thinking about moving on. She is maybe thinking about the person she really loves and not the person she's with. So again, this to me, it's often indication of a relationship, but choices in a relationship. Now we have the Knight of Cups. This is also a great depiction of the Knight of Cups. This is how I see the Knight of Cups a lot when we're seeing someone through rose-colored glasses. If it's a love reading and the Knight of Cups pops up right in the middle, I start looking for, okay, clearly this person is infatuated, loves, cares about this person. But look at these women fawning over this knight, and his knight is just kind of like numb and looking off in the distance. This is exactly the energy of, all right, it's maybe a little over the top. Are we really seeing the person's character, or are we in love with this idea of this person that we've made up in our mind? It also can indicate an individual with an open heart, again, a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. We've got some weird Pisces energy going on this week, and so I'm actually not surprised to see this. Venus is fully in retrograde. You could be hearing from people from your past. Again, I just feel like this is very much depicting the energy of not having a very grounded perception of the individual that we may have our focus on right now. Because we also have the other only upright card is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is seen as the wish card. Wishes fulfilled. Clearly, this dude's wish is to get hammered in a tavern. But, fat, dumb, and happy, I used to say a lot when I pulled this card, just, being very focused on the things that we want and enjoying the things that we want. Note the word want, not need. And feeling like our wishes have come true. I get the feeling like this is very temporal. This is not a lasting kind of energy. It could just be this fleeting infatuation. Maybe we meet someone new today. They seem really shiny and interesting. So because the rest of the energy in this reading is kind of telling me talk to a friend before you make any decisions today, and let me get to why I'm saying that. So we have the King of Pentacles reversed, the Two of Wands reversed, and this shining Knight of Cups. So King of Pentacles, let's talk about all of these as energies which are blocked, which are not coming through clearly today. So the King of Pentacles is that guy that you want in charge of your finances. You know, he has mastered the art. He's the king of the suit of Pentacles, Pentacles earth, tangible things, money, property, belongings. And he is methodical in his approach. He is incredibly grounded. And you can see he's, usually pretty a balanced person to talk to. Can be an older individual in your life. This doesn't have to be gender specific. But again, that energy is just not exactly with us today. It's pretty blocked, but it's showing up as specifically you're lacking maybe a grounded perspective today. Echoed by the Two of Wands reversed. So the Two of Wands, we are prospecting. This woman, really is quite decked out. She's looking out onto the distance. Wands are fire. We've made a plan. We're starting to envision that plan. We actually starting to put steps in place, at least even if on paper, for that plan. Today we're not really sure where we're going. We're kind of floating in the clouds. We're, we know what we think we want, Nine of Cups, but we may have zero idea how to get there, and we may just take off without any solid plans in place. Again, that Knight of Cups energy is guiding us, that kind of not exactly realistic. Knight of Cups is also often seen as an artist. This may be just a good day to create, to really journal, to draw, whatever your art is, sing, dance, paint, whatever that is for you, that is a creative endeavor. This really may be a great day to indulge that. Because we have the Devil reversed. Again, we're feeling Devil upright is about restrictions, temptations, vices, things that are restricted to us, that we're bound. I think this card was in this exact position yesterday. Am I wrong about that? Just a different deck, or day before. So again, really wanting to break free from things that restrict us, wanting that freedom, wanting to make that choice maybe to move forward in a new way, but not, again, really having the tools to do it. We have the Ace of Wands. The Ace is the spark of the suit of fire. This is, I think, Icarus coming down, offering fire, bringing fire. But remember what happens to Icarus. He flies too close to the sun and burns his wings. So we don't, when we have that desire, we have that energy where we want to move forward, but do we have a plan? And if we don't, are we making grounded decisions today? So we have this Nine of Cups, this I'm going to get hammered in the pub and take what I want today, followed by the Emperor reversed, followed by the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Now again, we may be focusing on wanting to break free, focusing on the things that make us feel good today, things that are enjoyable. Again, this really could be indulging in a relationship. But the Emperor is reversed here. He is the CEO. He is the guy in charge. If he is the CEO, the King of Pentacles is the CFO. And both of those are reversed today. So we have the head of the company and the head of the finances not really there, not really at the table in this reading. So Ten of Pentacles reversed. Are we making sound financial decisions? I guess I would just say watch where you're spending your money today. Consider, how this energy is playing out in terms of What are we maybe indulging in purely out of a desire to break free from this routine of quarantine? But do we really have a plan? Is it rooted in anything solid? Are the details in place? Are we just making a choice to make a choice? Because we have the Ten of Swords here. This card I want to show upright because it's really quite something. So this man is drowning. Ten of Swords is often seen as a pretty gruesome card. 10 swords in the back, very dark sky. It's about endings. Often quite painful, but endings nonetheless. And so it's kind of, like the dawn is, a new day is dawning, the worst is over kind of card. This is just a beautiful Ten of Swords, and this man is drowning. The sea is kind of, actually this image of an individual who's taking him with her, in this case, into the ocean, ending ostensibly his life. It is about endings. It is about, again, much like the Tower energy, ending one cycle so the new can be built. But this is when it's reversed like this. I don't actually take it as, oh, there's no more pain or the pain is over. It's actually, you haven't learned the lesson yet, and it's likely to show back up unless you have a plan in place. Where are your Two of Wands? How are you prospecting? Have you seen this clearly? Do you have the energy and the means to move forward in the way that you want? Again, are you making a decision based on fantasy, Knight of Cups? Or are you making a decision just based on what you want and not maybe the reality of the situation? Romantic, financial, life, this all applies. Because if we haven't learned the lesson, the Ten of Swords of reversed here is saying, you're gonna, one way or the other. Life has a way of doing that, right? If we don't listen and we don't learn the first time, it tends to come back around and shout at us until we do. And often the lessons get louder and louder and more painful until we listen, until we learn. So I'm going to suggest, in what ways are we charging forward without a plan? In what ways do we maybe need to pull back the reins and look a little more clearly? And what is that energy, that feeling of restriction? I mean, other than the obvious, we're all feeling it. No one is unique in terms of wanting to return to, quote, normal life. But is that even a real choice? So I hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping by. Know you're loved. Take care.